Hello, and welcome to your workshop about Prodigy. Today we're going to learn how to create a class and then add students to that class. But first things first, we need to create an account. So if you'll please just go ahead and click on Get Your Free Account. You'll want to signify that you're a teacher, enter your full name, add your school email address, and create a password. If you have a Google account, you can also sign up that way as well. Clearly, I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this and log in with that account so we can get started. As you can see, I already have 3 classes listed in my Prodigy account. These are my on-level classes. I usually use Prodigy for RTI intervention purposes, and so that's why I have these 3 classes already in there. For the purposes of this video though, this is how you're going to add a class. You'll want to click on the Add button. Now I like to name my classes based on the period that they're in, so I'm going to go ahead and name this second period. Select the grade that they're in. We're in 6th grade math. And then create the class. And there it is. It pops up automatically. Now I have 0 students in this because I haven't had the chance to add any students to it, but that is all that is necessary to create a class. Now we're going to view our class, and where Prodigy will let you know you've already created a class. That's great. Then it wants to let you know that as soon as students are added into your classroom, they're going to take what's called a placement test. Now this is just a test that the students are taking that tells Prodigy where the students are at in the curriculum, what skills they're weak on, what skills they're ahead on, so that Prodigy can adjust its curriculum towards your specific students. It's great for differentiation purposes because it can really see what areas of weaknesses the students has versus what areas of strengths they have. So I'm going to go ahead and say, that sounds great. Now obviously there's no data without students, so we need to add our students, and this is going to be the process that you use to add students. You're going to hit Add Students. Now there are 2 options here. Yes, they already have accounts, and no, they need new accounts. If your students already have a Prodigy account, they can absolutely go ahead and use that account. What they'll do is they'll just log in, hit New Teacher, and they're going to use your class code to get connected into your classroom. But for these purposes, I'm just going to assume that my kids do not have an account. So I'm going to hit No, they need new accounts, and hit Continue. Who will create their accounts? In 6th grade, I think the students are more than capable of creating their own accounts, but if you are working with younger students, maybe 4th or 5th grade, you might want to create the account for them. But my students can absolutely create their own account, and we're going to hit Continue, and then this is going to be the class code. 0D6755. Now this is definitely case sensitive. If the students put a lowercase d, it will not let them in. So that you need to make sure your students know that it is case sensitive. How you're going to add your students in using this class code is you're going to have them visit prodigygame.com/play. They're going to hit Select New Student, and then they're going to enter this class code. There's also printable instructions for your students. I understand that there are some students who benefit more from reading the instructions, so you can absolutely download that PDF and print off those instructions for your students as well. And then you're going to hit Finish. Now once your students start getting added into your classroom, you won't see them into your classroom until they have finished the placement test. So don't worry if you don't automatically see your students. They just have to finish the placement test first. Now, if you still have questions about anything about Prodigy, there are these wonderful question and answers down here that Prodigy has thought of and answered for us. So for instance, how do I add students to my class? Even though that's something that we just went over and just learned about, you may still have some questions. So you can just click on that and then read the answer that Prodigy has for you. So these are wonderful options and resources for you to use if you are still having questions about Prodigy.